It is month number 2 here at Perfect Spiral. We've officially made it into April, ladies and gentlemen. Starting March, and now we are in April. And April comes draft coverage. The NFL free agency frenzy is in our rearview mirror, and now PSP is exclusively into the NFL draft world. We got mocks, we got big boards, we got position comparisons. We have a tornado coming at you today. It is episode number 6 for Perfect Spiral. Segment number 1 today, we are going to recap the Dolphin 2 trades where they went up and down and left and right and all around. We're going to cover that for you and what it means for all 3 franchises that were impacted by the trades. Then John and I are going to reveal our big boards, and you might want to pay attention because they are very, very different. And then we are going to recap, or not recap, I should say, we are going to go over our analysis from the quarterback position and the running back position, which is going to be a running segment for the whole month of April. And then we are finally going to release our version 1 mock draft, round 1 only, but we are going to give you the initial PSP mock draft. It is all coming. We are throwing so many forks, knives, and spoons at you right now. So make sure you are ready because PSP is coming up next.
You play to win the game. Touchdown!
Can't wait.
All right, John, I definitely got you hyped with that intro. Don't even lie.
That was probably your best intro yet.
I got you.
So good.
I got you hyped for that.
I'm over here and like when you're doing the intro, I'm like kind of quiet and I'm just smirking from ear to ear. I'm like, holy shit, you just got me super jazzed.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Let's do it.
My name is Joe Miglio. I got my co-host John McCarthy. John, we are in April 1st, April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
How you doing today?
How's it going? Wow, Seahawks, I just see a trade.
Yo, hold on a minute. Real quick. You just brought that up to me. That's amazing because I called my fiance this morning to say like, good morning, whatever. And she literally goes to me, I saw that the Bears got Russell Wilson. And I'm like, yo, you're an idiot. That's like, that was an April Fool's. And she's like, I hate this day so much.
Oh my God.
I was like, come on.
That was so funny.
You're
I
better
saw that
than
before.
that.
It's also MLB opening day for all our MLB fans.
And the fucking Mets already got postponed.
Yeah, that sucks.
Ridiculous. Frankie Lindor, though, 10 years. How you doing?
I know. You feel good about that.
I do. I feel great. Especially after that ridiculous Nick loss yesterday to the Timberwolves. Murder me in my sleep, please.
Yeah, Joe ghosted me last night because I'm doing all my draft stuff late and I'm just blowing him up.
I ghosted everybody.
I should have sent you the hamster with the fucking Knicks hat.
Retarded. Well, everybody, I know people have been clamoring for a month. Why are we not doing draft coverage? But we listened to your feedback. We weren't going to listen to it anyway, but we listened to your feedback. And we said we were going to start on April 1st. Lo and behold, we're here on April 1st starting our draft coverage. And we're going to come at you with a lot of stuff today. As always, please follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Give us those 5-star reviews. Make sure you're subscribing and listening to our shows. You guys have been great so far. Really done a lot for us. We have, and I think for John and myself, we have exceeded expectations in our first month.
Oh, for sure.
Of what we've accomplished here. And that's thanks to everybody who's been listening. You guys have been great. And make sure you let us know how much you hate what we're about to tell you today. I mean, in the end, we are right, but we are going to take any and all listeners who believe we're wrong, and we are going to swing a 34-ounce metal Easton bat at you when we do that.
In honor of MLB opening day.
In honor of MLB opening day. But let's get started today. Let's talk about these trades that the Dolphins made last week, which sounds crazy, that last week. They made 2 deals, right? So, John, you and I have made these. We have made like our own mocks before. And in a lot of those mocks, we had the Dolphins trading that number 3 pick.
We did, yeah.
And there were a couple of bevy of teams. Like we saw them trading with Denver or Carolina or Washington, even San Francisco. And lo and behold, they actually make that trade with the San Francisco 49ers to move up to 3.
This is a huge deal,
Huge
too.
deal.
They
The
gave up a
parameters
lot.
of the trade are as follows. The Dolphins trade the number 3 pick to San Francisco right? And here's what San Francisco gave Miami back in return. They obviously got the number 12, right? Then they got a 2022 third round pick, which is the compensatory pick for the Robert Saleh signing.
Okay.
Right? And then they got first round picks in 2022 and in 2023. So now the Dolphins have they had a couple of first round picks from that Texan trade with Laremy Tunsil. Now they recoup and they have 2 more first round picks for 2022 and 2023.
Yeah, they actually, if you really think about it, they turned Laremy Tunsil into, I think, 3 firsts and 4 firsts and I think 3 thirds.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was insane.
It was really good.
They got to hang him from the rafters after that.
And then when you think the Dolphins are done, they do a little switcheroo on you. And then later in the day, they make a trade with Philly, the Eagles. And they move back from 12 up to 6. And in that deal, not as crazy, the Eagles throw in, they take the 12 back, and they give Miami a 2022 first-round pick. So now Miami has not 1, not 2, but 3 first-round picks in next year's draft.
Yeah.
One of them you're thinking will be a high pick because it's the Eagles pick, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have the 49ers pick, which we don't know what that's going to be, maybe in the teens, low 20s possibly if the Niners have a good year. And then you have the Dolphins. And the Dolphins coming off a 10-6 season, you're thinking they're going to do hopefully something this season. What do you think initially about what the Dolphins did, essentially ending up at 6? What do you think they're looking for? And what do you think it means for them going forward?
So I think that this was a good trade for them because the Dolphins, they don't have like a super huge need on the team. I mean, obviously wide receiver is the biggest need, I think.
Right.
And you could get a wide receiver that's a good wide receiver. This class is actually like sneaky good. You get a good wide receiver at basically any point in the first round. So them being able to move back, get 2 more first round picks, and then move back up with Philly, they know they could get their guy.
Oh,
so they're
absolutely.
confident. Yeah, like they're absolutely confident.
And I think it sets them up well, man. I think the Dolphins have done an excellent job in really working the system.
It's a clinic.
They were working the system. Brian Flores, and I believe his name is Chris Greer, who's the GM of the Dolphins. And I apologize if I got the first name wrong. But they've done a really, really nice job. They've turned that franchise around like in a matter of, what, a year and a half?
Oh, it was about a year
2
and a half,
years?
yeah. When
Crazy.
They won those, when they went on that run at the end of 2019, I think
started
that's
off
when
like 0-11, right?
Yeah,
0-8, something like that.
Yeah, 0-8, and then no, I think it was actually like 0-11,
Something like that.
and then they won 5. Doing the math in my head, yeah, 16-game season. They won 5 straight. They won 5-11.
Yeah.
So they did turn it around. So
I mean, listen, Brian Flores is one of the most underrated coaches in the league. I think he's a great head coach. I think he's a top 5 head coach in the league.
They play for him.
Absolutely. And he gets those guys fired up. He's ready to go. And listen, I think we both know where the Dolphins are going to go with that pick in 28 days, 29 days, whatever that is.
Which we'll get to.
Which we'll get to later. And now let's go to the other teams, right? So before we I want to hit on Frisco last. Let's hit on Philly first. Philly moving back to 12 and giving up that 2022 pick. What is their intention there? Because when they stayed at 6, we were like, oh, maybe they go Kyle Pitts. Maybe they go Jamar Chase. Maybe they go Rashawn Slater. Now moving back to 12, it's like almost they're banking on somebody that they really like getting to 12.
Yeah, I'm a little confused at what Philly's doing. I mean, you got to remember, too, they're in position to get a first-round pick from Indy if Carson Wentz plays more than 75% of the snaps, which he's going to.
You think so?
I think he is. So, I mean, they're in the running to get Indy's first-round pick, which if Indy's good, I mean, that's a late first. But what are they doing? It's weird because that's a team like with the Dolphins where the Dolphins don't really have a severe need except for wide receiver. Philly, I think, has needs all over the board.
Yeah, I think Philly's punting on this year. I really do. I think they're punting on this year. I think that they know they're punting on this year. So I think at 12, what's going to end up happening for them, and I think maybe this is what like Roseman and Sirianni discussed, is like, hey, listen, we have so many needs all around the board. We'll just take best player available.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, and I apologize because I said something before that was wrong. I said Miami got Philly's first round pick. That's not true. Philly got Miami's first round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that. I was thinking about that before, and I'm like, wait, doesn't make any sense. Why would Philly give up a first round pick to move back 6 spots? No.
Too many picks on the
Too many picks. And the pick that Philly got was Miami's first round pick, not Frisco's, not
Houston's,
and not not Houston's.
okay.
So yeah, I don't know if they have Houston's next year. Anyway, it's Miami's. It's not San Francisco's. So Miami has 1 first round pick next year. Philly's got 2.
Yes.
So there you go.
With a potential for 3.
With a potential for 3. And I think that's because what we're talking about is the fact that they are such in the need for everything, right? Like they lost Jalen Mills, they lost Alshon Jeffrey, they lost Malik Jackson, all these veterans who they signed. They were expecting to be a big players, ended up kind of falling flat on their faces.
And they're not even sure about Jalen Hurts.
Not even sure about Jalen Hurts. They're going to give him basically a year tryout this year. I think it's safe to say that they're two cornerstone pieces who I wouldn't even bank that they're going to be on the team at the end of this year. I think they may get traded. Are Fletcher Cox, who I think easily could get traded as like a midseason deal to a contender. And Miles Sanders. I mean, people love Miles Sanders. He's a good player.
Just can't stay healthy.
Hasn't been able to stay healthy his first 2 years in the league, but I think that he could definitely. I mean, listen, the Eagles are in full rebuild mode, right? And I think the NFC East is in a predicament where there's no team that's running away. Like there's no Chiefs in that division, right? There's no team that's going to be like running that division for the next 15 years. So the division's wide open. They probably see an opportunity for the next couple of years where there's not going to be that one team that like grabs that division like for the stranglehold for the long term. They're saying, hey, couple of years, let's rebuild this thing and let's go forward from there.
Yeah, their coach is a little weird too.
I mean, listen, I didn't like the signing when they made it.
Weird press conference.
Very weird press conference, but we'll see what happens. And finally, let's move on to what this means for San Francisco.
Frisco, baby.
And I think everybody is thinking that they are going to select a quarterback at 3 because of moving up. I mean, like, which is wild to me because they've already committed to Jimmy G for this year. Not next year.
Yeah,
this
that was
year.
weird.
Which basically tells me, like, hey, we're totally comfortable taking a quarterback now and letting him sit behind Jimmy for a year and then having, like, the guy take over afterwards.
I don't know what Jimmy's trade value was either. I think Jimmy had pretty terrible trade value, if I'm being honest.
Well, listen, I think if they're going to go after the guy that a lot of people think they're going to go after, and that is Mac Jones, I think it's a huge mistake. I do.
We're going to get into this later.
We are,
totally
but
on the other side.
In short, you could have grabbed Mac Jones at like 10.
Well, then, when you make that move, you kind of have a feeling that somebody else is trying to do that.
Okay, when we go through our mock draft, we are going to sit there and we are going to discuss who was going to move up to get Mac Jones at 3.
Or
because the answer is fucking 0.
Or it's Zach Wilson. And they're just kind of smoke screening everybody.
I think that's an impossible thing to do because then you're banking on the Jets not taking him, which you don't know. Why would Joe Douglas give you that? If Joe Douglas gave you that confirmation that, hey, listen, we're sticking with Sam, we're not taking Zach, then why wouldn't you move up to 2? What's the point then? And moving up to 3 when you could have went up to 2. If you really wanted Zach Wilson, you go to 2. It can't be for Zach Wilson because they don't know he's going to be available.
There was a couple of teams that tried to move up to 2 and 3. I think one of them was also Carolina, who just seems to swing and miss this entire offseason.
But I think Carolina's going to end up getting the guy that they want. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I think they will too. But when that trade happened at first, honestly, I thought it was going to be Micah Parsons. And joke's on me because you don't trade 2 first-round picks and
for a linebacker
and a third for a linebacker.
The only way you're making that deal is for a quarterback.
Even though he's a damn good linebacker.
The only way you're making that deal is for a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's it.
But it's all over the place. If it's Mac Jones, listen, it's Mac Jones. Mac Jones is... we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're going to get into it. I like Mac Jones. So
great. I don't. All right. So that is our coverage on the 49ers picks. We're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, we are going to reveal the big board. No, the big board for John and for Joe. So go grab a coffee and come back and join us on this Thursday afternoon. And we're back here. So we are ready to talk big board time. John, we have worked hard to put this together. John has his own, and I have my own. We're gonna do We're gonna do 4 big boards, right? We're gonna do top 100. Then we're gonna do a top 150. We're gonna do a top 200, and then we're gonna do a collective top 300, which we're gonna give you the day of the draft.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So 4 big boards, 4 mocks. They're all coming at you. It's going to be like a fucking whirlwind. I'm telling you. It's going to be crazy.
It's going to change. Everything's going to just change because between now and the draft, I'm sure there'll be some more movement.
Oh, it's going to be great. But, okay, so how do you want to do this? Do you want to start your big board or you want to do my big board first? I don't care either way.
I'll go through mine.
You'll go through mine. So here's what we'll do. Actually, let's make this fun. I'm going to go through yours.
Oh, okay.
Okay? And I'm going to go through yours, and I'm going to I'm going to give you your top 10, and then I want you to explain your top 10. Then I'm going to go through the rest of the 100, and we're going to kind of just pick some guys out.
Yeah.
And see where we are. If you want to catch our big boards, either mine or John's, we were going to post it to Twitter after the podcast, and this way you're able to see both of our top 100s in full.
At PSP Pod.
Very good. Thank you. So, John, your big board, down from 10 down to 1. Okay?
Okay, let's do it.
And I'm not going to ask you for your opinions till after I give you the full 10. Right? So at 10, we got Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle out of Northwestern. Very versatile tackle, could play guard, could play center, could play tackle in the NFL, which is why he's so highly coveted, right? At 9, you got Jalen Phillips out of Miami. Some injury character questions, but talent is through the roof. Patrick Surtain, number 8. I believe that is your top cornerback on the big board so far. We got Kwity Paye at the edge out of Michigan, number 7. Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah, who I'm just going to say, John and I both really like this guy a lot.
Fantastic player.
Number 5, John, you got Kyle Pitts, the tight end out of Florida. Number 4, Jamar Chase, the wide receiver out of LSU. Number 3, you got Penei Sewell, the offensive tackle, top offensive tackle on the board out of the University of Oregon. And then Micah Parsons, John, you just spoke about Micah Parsons before. You have him as your number 2 overall player on your big board.
Oh, yeah.
Linebacker out of Penn State. And number 1, the presumptive number 1 pick, the king, the prince, sunshine, whatever you'd like to call him, Trevor Lawrence, a.k.a. future member of Duval County. So, John, give us some breakdowns on this top 10. I'm a little surprised to see Kwity Paye in there. I'm a little surprised to see Pitts at 5. I thought he would be a little higher. So give us a little bit of breakdown of where you were at with those couple things.
So in regards to I'm gonna Kwity Paye, I'll start off with first. Kwity Paye is definitely a little bit of a project, but I think he showed a little more at Michigan than the other defensive ends in the class.
Okay.
He played all 4 years, senior. I like that. I like when you're like a seasoned college veteran. I kind of
I get you there, but he also doesn't have a lot of time for, like, you saying he's a project.
He's definitely a little bit of a
project.
He's
a project at 22. He's not a project at 19.
I mean, and we've seen players like him come into the league, right? We've seen like Hassan Reddick. We've seen who's the other one that came out of Florida State recently? Brian Burns.
Not Artie Burns. Yes, Brian Burns.
Brian Burns. Right. They catch on late, but the skill set is there for him. I mean, you're coming from Michigan, defensive-minded coach. Even though Michigan's been terrible,
they've not been good. They haven't been good by Michigan standards.
Yeah, they haven't been good. But I like where he's coming from there. Kyle Pitts at 5. I think that's still high for Pitts. I know a lot of people I've seen have him as high as 2. I have a slight concern with Pitts.
What?
A very, very slight concern.
Wow.
I know, it's weird. Breaking news.
The dude is 6'4", 245, and he just is fresh off a 4.44 40 at the Florida Pro Day.
Okay, I love all of that. Don't get me wrong. The intangibles for him, incredible. The numbers, the metrics, insane.
Doesn't have a high vertical, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. But my issue with him is I don't think he's a tight end. I know that he's coming out as a tight end, but he's not a tight end. He's a wide receiver. He's DK Metcalf.
He's bigger than Metcalf.
Yeah, he's bigger than Metcalf, but he's that style of player. I don't see him lining up at tight end. The only place I would see him lining up in tight end, which we will get to, is Atlanta. Everywhere else, I don't really see him lining up as a tight end. I see him lining up as a receiver.
I just think, though, it's going to cause such a problem for opposing defenses when he's lining up on the line of scrimmage. You can't have a cornerback line up on the line of scrimmage against a tight end. Can't do it.
No, he's incredibly physical.
Right, and he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be fantastic. I do.
I'm not saying he's not gonna be fantastic.
And historically, it takes tight ends a while to catch on in the NFL.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at like the player.
Remember what happened to T.J. Hawkinson a couple of years ago?
Yeah, second year he blew up. Though.
Right,
He was fantastic
exactly.
last year.
Yeah.
But what I'll say about Pitts is he reminds me a lot of.
Don't say Evan Ingram.
He does remind me a little bit of Evan Ingram. Only in the stature department a little bit. I know it's really nowhere close, but more slender build at the tight end position.
Right.
Would benefit more being spread out as more of a wide receiver instead of on the line of scrimmage. But I could see on the right team him causing a mismatch issue.
Okay. I want to ask you about one more guy here. I want to ask you about Patrick Surtain being your top corner.
I flip-flop back and forth between Surtain and J.C. Horn.
Okay.
I actually think J.C. Horn might be a little better than Surtain, but I'm a big fan of the track record of players coming from very specific colleges. I like that he's a corner coming from Alabama.
Okay. So you like the school pedigree.
I like the pedigree. I like what they teach there. You know that he's coming in with polished mechanics. Basically it's learning a system for him. You know he's coming in with all the right mechanics. He was taught well at Alabama. Surtain's a fantastic player. I mean, he was absolutely incredible in the national championship.
All right, so let's hit up the quarterbacks really quick. What you got? So you got Zach Wilson, 16th overall, as your QB2.
Mm-hmm.
You have Mac Jones as your QB3 at number 24 overall.
Yeah.
You have Justin Fields as your QB4 at 29th overall. And you got Trey Lance as your 5th quarterback overall at number 33. So you have 4 QB1 round grades, round 1 grades, 1 QB round 2 grade in Lance. And is Kyle Trask on your top 100?
Kyle Trask is. I have a second round grade on Kyle Trask.
So you have 2 quarterbacks in the round 2.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of guys I want to get to before we get. We're going to get into our quarterback and running back dive in segment number 3. A couple of guys I want to talk about here. You got Devontae Smith at number 12.
He fell a little bit.
You have Caleb Farley at number 21. A lot of mock drafts I'm seeing he's going like 10 or 11. What's your thought on Farley there?
I don't like the back surgery.
Okay.
I'm very concerned about the back surgery with him. I think that he could have been the second best corner in the class. But, right before the draft, you end up having to have back surgery. That's not a good look. I mean, they're saying he's going to be ready by training camp. Back surgeries are tricky, man, even just something minor. So I could see him falling because of that.
Okay.
I wouldn't be shocked, honestly, if he fell out of the first round.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
Interesting. One guy I really like on my board that you have a little lower, I'm going to stick on the defense here, is Trevon Moehrig, the safety out of TCU. You have Moehrig at number 34, second round grade.
Mm-hmm.
What is your thought? Moehrig is, I believe, the highest safety you have on the board here. So what's your thoughts on Moehrig? Because a lot of guys, I see him, even though he's 34, do you expect him to go in the first round?
I think he will.
Because he's just the top safety.
Yeah, he's just a top safety. I mean, you know a team is gonna want to get a safety in the first round. One of those teams in the late end of the first that, again, like Miami doesn't have a true real need, but can have some depth there. I could see like a team like Pittsburgh going for him.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I could definitely see Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Because didn't they just lose? They lost a safety today, actually. I think he signed with the Colts.
They have Minka.
Yeah, but they had, what's his name? It was another. I think it was either their backup or a guy that played next to Minka.
You watching this on TV right now? You see this?
Justin Fields?
So right now we're watching ESPN. We have the Yankee game on in the background as we're also talking about this. And they got Todd McShay talking about how they have Fields going to number 11 with when they trade with the Giants.
Yeah, the Patriots.
Patriots.
That's a weird. McShay's mock was a little weird today.
Shay's a weird dude, bro. A weird dude. All right, I'm gonna give you a couple of guys.
All right.
Right in your back half of your top 100 big board, right? And you tell me which guy you like the most. All
Okay.
right? Just going to give you a few names.
Go easy on me, Joe.
All right. Sam Cosmi, offensive tackle of Texas.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we actually, in regards to Sam Cosmi, real quick, I think we actually had him way higher in our
We did initially. We did, yeah.
first mocks.
We did. Amari Rodgers, wide receiver, Clemson.
Okay.
Ronnie Perkins, edge rusher, Oklahoma. And Jason Owe, edge rusher, Penn State.
Okay.
Give me one guy. Also, I'll give you another one. Kenneth Gainwell, running back out of Memphis.
Okay.
Those 5 guys, give me one guy that you think will be the most successful pro from those 5.
It's a good one. I'm going to go Cosmi.
Coincidentally, he's your highest ranked guy out of those 5, so I'm not
Yeah.
a little surprised. Not shocked.
So, wasn't he a 3-year starter at Texas?
I don't know for sure. Don't
I think he was
quote me.
I think he was a 3-year starter. Could be wrong, though.
But, I mean, Cosmi's an offensive tackle. Offensive tackle, usually their lives are a little bit longer
Yeah.
in the NFL.
And there's a big need for tackle right now.
Huge need for
in the
tackle.
league.
It's very offensive tackle heavy this draft. There's going to be a lot of teams who are going to get some good tackles. I don't know where I have Cosmi on mine. I'm sure you'll tell me when I have it. But I think your big board is interesting. Very different from mine. Just for instance, you have Jason Owe at number 79. I have him much higher on mine.
Really?
Much higher.
Yeah, our big boards were definitely way off. I had Quiddy Pay at 7, and you had Quiddy Pay at like 23.
Yeah. So, speaking of big boards, that's John's. If you want to catch John's big board, make sure you hit us up on our Twitter. We're going to put it on after the show. Take a look at John's top 100. Tell him how much his sucks compared to mine. And it'll be great. And
I just
now-
want to say a quick side note.
Sure.
On my top 100, there was one player I really struggled with, which when we get to the mock draft, I wanted to have him so much higher on my big board.
But you didn't.
I didn't. But in the mock, I have him way up there.
Okay.
Kadarius Toney. This guy is
Electric.
I mean, he's not making it to the Chiefs. As much as Chiefs fans want him, he's not making it to Kansas City.
I don't know if he gets. I think that's a guy that Urban Meyer wants at 25 if he gets there.
Oh, this guy, but he's like but that's weird because you have LaVishka.
You can never have enough speed and time. Okay.
This guy can line up all over the field.
No, it's just you want guys. He wants guys on his team who are going to score touchdowns. Mm-hmm. You want to be difficult to game plan for. That's it.
Well, he's gonna be the guy that people go after because they missed out on Curtis Samuel, I think.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think that's gonna be what it is. All right. So we're up to Joe's big board now.
Yeah, baby.
All right.
Hit me with some knowledge.
So Joe, I'm gonna count down from 10 to 1, just
Gotcha.
like you did.
Right.
You have Patrick Surtain at 10,
Okay.
Jalen Phillips at 9, Owosu Kamara at 8,
Yeah, baby.
Zach Wilson at 7. Now this is the first major difference between both of ours.
Right.
Micah Parsons at 6, Penei Sewell at 5. Roshan Slater is your top tackle.
He
at
is.
4.
Yes, he is.
Which it's funny because when you were talking about him before, I actually saw a little bit of film on him on Twitter before of him blocking Chase Young.
Yeah.
He was incredible.
Uh-huh.
Kyle Pitts at 3.
Yep.
Your second ranked player. Now this actually surprised me when you sent it to me. Jamar Chase at 2. I don't hate it. I actually really like it because I'm not ballsy enough to put him at 2, but I can see why he's at 2. And obviously,
Come on. Was there ever any doubt?
Trevor Lawrence, quarterback of Clemson at 1.
When you
What a boring pick.
When you say his name, say Trevor Lawrence, quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 1.
I'm not giving you that satisfaction.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'll give it to myself on that.
So, one thing that stands out to me here is Zach Wilson at 7.
Okay.
Why?
Why? Okay. I think there is definitely talent there with Wilson. You got to think about the guy last year was fighting to start at BYU, right? He was fighting to start at BYU.
Brigham Young University.
Right. And this year, he completely took the majors by storm as we're watching the Yankee game, and Garrett Cole gets Marcus Semien to ground out to short to start the game.
A little play-by-play here on PSP.
But I mean, the guy took such a leap this year. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's very accurate. You brought up the Johnny Manziel comparison to him before, and not the way that Manziel had the talent Manziel has, but the way that he plays.
Yes, which I'll get into later on.
I've heard people say it's Mahomes-esque. I could understand the notion there, but I'm not going to sit here and compare him to Patrick Mahomes because he's not. But people who say, "Oh well, we don't trust one-year starters in the NFL," fuck you. You're an idiot. Yes, for every Mark Sanchez, there's a Joe Burrow.
Yep, throw that out the window.
So I don't want to hear that garbage. I think he's got more arm talent than Justin Fields, and that is purely why I put him ahead of Justin Fields. Just for argument, I have Justin Fields as my 13th ranked prospect overall. So they're not huge. I could definitely say I think Fields' running ability is huge for him.
Oh, it's incredible.
It's really big for him. But I think Wilson is a little bit, at this point of his career, I think Wilson's a little bit of a smarter quarterback than Fields, which is why I have him ranked a little higher.
Yeah, and when I did my film breakdown on all of them, I did see... Should I do it now since we're talking about it? Or you want to wait till the next segment?
I want to wait.
All right. I'll get into it because there's a lot of stuff I saw with Zach Wilson where I could see why you have him ranked so high as your QB2.
Right.
He on my big board I have him as my QB2, but I actually don't have him as my second best quarterback.
Okay.
We'll get into that. So now I am going to go through and pick out a couple of guys that I think are interesting.
Okay.
Just like you did for me.
I love this.
Trayvon Moehrig, you have at 18.
I do.
I had him in the second round.
You had him at 34, yeah.
34.
I like Moehrig. I think he's going to be a really good player. I think he's a hard-hitting safety.
Zaven Collins is actually an incredible linebacker. I think he's very underrated.
I think Zaven Collins is... When we were doing our mock this morning, I was like itching for Zaven Collins to go to New Orleans. When we were doing it, I was like, bro, this is like the perfect Zaven Collins spot. Oh my God. I even debated taking Collins at the second Jaguar pick at 25.
Yeah, he's
seriously
really
debated it.
Who else is here?
Just because he plays for Tulsa, people are going to overlook him, I think.
Liam Eichenberg, you have a first-round grade on. I believe I had a first-round grade on him as well.
Yeah, I think Eichenberg. Notre Dame, there's something about those Notre Dame offensive linemen that just like they eat the right shit.
Now, I want to see where you have Samuel Cosmi. You have Samuel Cosmi at 43.
Yeah, so...
not that far off from where I was.
8 spots higher than you.
Yeah.
I think we're in the same ballpark with Cosmi. I think Cosmi's going to be a decent to good pro. I do.
Now, a couple of players that did not make a first-round grade for you.
Okay.
One of them being Travis Etienne. You have at 40.
I'm going to wait on that because as much as I like Etienne, I think he's being hyped up a little too much.
Now, this was another guy I actually wanted to have higher.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just like sipping the
Kool-Aid.
The Kool-Aid on who's the safety for Antoine Winfield Jr. Asante Samuel Jr. Okay. Cornerback out of Florida State. You have a 46.
Yeah, I mean Samuel, I like. I definitely could see. Now he's a guy who could go in the first round because of his name. Purely because of his name.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I think he's good. Listen, you get drafted in the second round of the NFL draft, and I think you're a good player. You're projected to be a starter in the NFL. You're not projected to be a backup. So the only reason I have him a little lower, and just for context, I have him lower than guys like Eric Stokes. I have him lower than a guy like Caleb Farley. I have him lower than Greg Newsome. I have him lower than I have him lower than J.C. Horn.
Eric Stokes is an interesting one.
Eric Stokes out of Georgia, really fast corner. Not a great tackler, but I think he could become a good tackler in the right system. I think he's a guy that is going to go a little lower than he's expected, but I think his speed is going to help him a lot.
And that's one thing I've realized with the draft is corner is like one of those positions the last few years that you need to be a little bit more of a sure thing coming in because it is very hard to catch on in the NFL as a corner.
Absolutely.
It is
like
incredibly
tight
hard.
end.
Like my team's whiffed on
Do you remember? Do you remember how? Do you know how much Jeffrey Okudah struggled this season with the Lions?
Oh yeah, and he was supposed to be like, wow,
He
this
was
is one
the
of the best.
third overall pick. Even Henderson had games where he struggled with the
Yeah.
Jaguars last year. Like they are just Jalen Ramsey's. They don't come around very often.
No, they don't. But Joe, that's what goes back for me to the school thing. Certain schools, I feel a certain type of way about when it comes to players, right? And
Okay.
Florida State DBs are unreal. I mean,
Well, that's where
Jalen-
Asante went. That's where Asante went.
Yeah, and
right?
that's why it's like, well, you're going to take a look at him because of where he came from, And then look at what's his name when he could stay healthy, Derwin James, absolute freak.
Yeah, but he can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
So, well, folks, that's our big boards. If you want to catch our big boards, make sure to catch on our Twitter account at PSP Pod. They will be released after the recording of this podcast for you guys to catch. When we come back, we are going to break down and deep dive into the quarterback and running back position. So make sure you are turning up your dials, and we'll see you in a sec. All right, folks, segment 3 of 4 today. This is probably, I think this, up to date, this is our biggest podcast segment that we have, right? We have 4 segments today.
Very expansive
Very
podcast.
expansive. So we are going to, John and I have basically taken, we mentioned it a couple podcasts ago, we have taken different positions, and we're breaking them down, benefit of having 2 guys together doing the podcast. So we're breaking down quarterbacks and running backs today. John, let us start with the quarterback position, and I am going to let you just take the reins here. If you can, give the folks you want to do top 5 or top 6? What do you want to do?
I believe I have 6. 6 guys.
So let's count down 6 to 1,
Okay.
and then just highlight a couple of guys why they are where they are. I'm not going to sit here and expect you to break down Trevor Lawrence. We all know he's number 1.
Yeah, we don't have to break down Trevor Lawrence. I'll do, for the guys that I won't do a full breakdown on, I'll give a player comparison. So Trevor Lawrence obviously is quarterback 1.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence for me compared to his more relevant player comp would be Andrew Luck. That's no surprise.
Okay.
I could see him being John Elway,
I
built for today's game.
got to excuse myself for 1 second. I'll be right back.
I know you're hyped up.
I'm very hyped.
So that's my quarterback 1. My quarterback 2 is Mac Jones. Which, do you want to do this now?
Just go through your top 6.
My quarterback 2 is Mac Jones. Mac Jones, I watched the Mississippi State game and the Georgia game.
Okay.
Mac Jones is not the most athletic quarterback in the class.
I think that's an understatement, but go ahead.
Yeah, he's not very athletic, but incredibly high football IQ.
Absolutely.
He will make you miss with his shoulders. It's kind of crazy how he has this weird shoulder shimmy.
Like the Dak hip, but with the shoulder.
Yes. But he's he throws you off. Like when if you're a pass rusher and you think you have him, he moves up in the pocket. His pocket movement is incredible. He sets his feet.
Okay.
Like if he's on the move, he'll reset and he'll deliver a strike. But with Mac Jones, there's a little bit of a concern with, and what you said, the players that he played with. He has, 2 first-round wide receivers on his team and a first-round running back.
And possibly a first round in Landon Dickerson, a first round offensive lineman.
So, and Leatherwood could go in the first round too, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
So there is a question about that. But, and I say but, when I watch his tape, and this is going to sound crazy, this is the first crazy thing that's going to be said in the draft season, I can't help but to see a baby Tom Brady. And I know that it's a little weird because all these teams are chasing the next Mahomes. But when you look at what's getting it done, it's all reliable. So I could see a team like San Francisco really going after him because I think that the difference between him and Jimmy G isn't huge yet. But that's saying a lot. A rookie coming in compared to a veteran who's been there and knows the system. I mean, this kid's pretty good, Joe. I think if any other year Trevor Lawrence wasn't the best clear, far and away best quarterback in the draft. He's number 1. So I'll say that. Then my quarterback 3 is Zach Wilson. As we mentioned before, Zach Wilson, elite athleticism. This kid is like unreal. His arm strength is crazy.
His arm strength is really impressive.
He does tend to do a lot of the hero ball stuff. A lot of the, like, he thinks he's Mahomes. He's going to do a flip pass when he's in trouble. I'm going down. I'm going to throw the ball. The issue I see with him is he plays the game almost too fast, which is where I made the comparison to Johnny Manziel, because not in the sense of Johnny Manziel, like, oh crap, he's going to be an alcoholic and fall out of the league. Not like that. Let me preface it. Johnny Manziel, when he was at Texas A&M, played the game faster than anybody on the field.
Right.
You didn't know what he was going to do. He was all over the field. Zach Wilson is all over the place on the film. And with Zach Wilson, I watched the UTSA game and the UCF game. I think the UCF game, he was even better. And that was later on in the season.
Did you watch the Coastal Carolina game?
I did not.
Recommend that.
Yeah, he's definitely a little chaotic. He's definitely a little chaotic on the field. That's why I compared him to Johnny. But I could see Zach Wilson being a really good pro. And that's where another player where he's a match made in heaven for the 49ers, because he could do a lot of the motion stuff. He ran a ton of motion.
Yeah, I think he's a good fit for San Francisco. I really do.
Yeah.
I think he's a very good fit for San Francisco.
And he's just unbelievably athletic. I mean, and you see it. It's not like it's not there. It's not like it's not on the tape. So that's my quarterback 3. My quarterback 4 is Justin Fields. Boo. I'm not as bullish on Justin Fields as I think a lot of people are. I see a lot of Cam Newton when I watch him. I watched the Northwestern, Indiana, and Michigan State game. I actually watched 3 games for Justin Fields. There's a lot of Cam, Joe. There's a lot of Cam.
I know. You've been saying that for a while now.
There's a lot of, like, standing in the pocket, just that he holds onto the ball almost for fucking ever. He regressed a little bit from his first season. I'm not crazy about the offense that they run at Ohio State. I'm really not. I don't think it translates very well to the NFL. He does have a tendency to lock onto his first read, and he doesn't go through progressions as well as it may look, but he's got an absolute cannon for an arm. And if he got in the open field, good luck. You cannot take this kid down. He will run you over. And that's also where the Cam comparison comes from. He's also got the weird flick of the wrist like Cam. It's like they're almost the same player. If you put them side by side, you're like, wow, this is very similar to Cam. But
okay,
I like his skill set. I think he's going to be a good player, but I don't think he's a day one starter.
I think he is.
Yeah,
I do, because of his legs.
Yeah,
you're telling me if he gets drafted
huge.
by Washington, he shouldn't be starting day one?
Oh no, he's See, but
if he gets drafted by Carolina, he shouldn't be starting day one.
Now Carolina's a nice spot for him.
What about Denver?
Denver, I'm not as out on Luck as I think other people are.
Yeah,
I'm kind of still in. I still have Drew Luck stock. Drew Lock. I said Luck.
You did say Luck.
He's Andrew Luck's
You really
brother.
love
Trevor.
Trevor.
I have Trevor on the mind. My quarterback, what is that? That was 4, right? My quarterback 5, Jesus Christ. I almost don't even want to talk about this guy, is Trey Lance.
I can't wait for this. I'm so excited.
So mind you, I just want to say on my quarterback, like type ups that I did, I just put he's ass. Just for comedic effect. Now, Trey Lance is a weird one because I feel like if you just look at his numbers, you're like, holy shit, this is the most incredible quarterback I've ever seen in my life. Let me just remind people that he played against subpar competition. North Dakota State has been undefeated for like 75 straight seasons. You're playing in Division I, Double A.
So did Joe Flacco.
Yeah, but what Joe Flacco, let's be fucking honest. Mediocre. He won the Super Bowl, and that's about it.
That's about it.
I mean,
come on. You didn't just say that.
Joe Flacco was a little more built for the game at that point in time, though. It made a little bit of sense. I mean, Carson Wentz obviously came out of North Dakota State. Carson Wentz I don't think is bad, but Carson Wentz definitely has his problems. But with Trey Lance, I just can't see it, man. I can't see it. I'm watching the tape, and I'm watching it was one of the games in 2019. Mind you, he played one game last year. He's played, what? I think it was like 13 games. And like, I know that that's kind of like stupid. Like we said before, throw it out the window. This guy didn't make a single throw in an NFL window. Like when his guys were covered, he couldn't make the throw. And even in the showcase game, I think I watched him complete 3 passes. And the guys were wide open. Not to mention he's missing incredibly easy reads. My dog could make the throw.
So let me ask you a question then. Do you think he could be an NFL starting quarterback?
Absolutely not.
You don't?
I don't. I think, and that's why I said the numbers are bullshit. Because when you look at the numbers, it's like, wow, this is the most incredible quarterback I've ever seen. He's thrown 46 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
People loved his pro day.
Yeah, he loved his pro day because he could throw the ball 70 yards. But who cares? Jamarcus Russell could throw the ball 90 off his knees. What is it? What does it matter? I don't take any stock in these pro days. If you go and watch the film, he's just not good. Is he athletic? Oof. That was a bad error. If we have the Yankee game.
I'm interested to see how they rule that, honestly. I don't know if it's going to be an error.
So we just like a total miss by Glaber. Okay.
I mean,
he missed it.
He missed it. Yeah, kind of do like a semi dive for it. I'm curious to see how they rule that, but we'll see. Anyway,
so they with Trey Lance, I just don't see him being a starter. I just don't. It's hard because people have him so high, and
people think that the Niners traded up to get him.
That would be a mistake. He's just Joe. If anybody who's listening to this, just go do yourself a favor and watch the film. Is he athletic? Yeah, sure. He's unbelievably athletic.
And let me be clear. You have him at number 33 on your big board.
Yeah, like I don't think like he's a top 10 quarterback. It's like looking at like. He's like the EJ Manuel of this class for me.
Wow.
He's like the Christian Ponder of this class.
That's an indictment right there.
I don't care about pro days. I don't care if you could throw the ball 90 yards with no defense. You're throwing the ball in the air. There's nothing there. But that's what he's used to because all he's ever done in college was throw to wide open guys. That's it.
So John doesn't like Trey Lance.
I don't like Trey Lance at all. And then real quick, just to round out my quarterback discussion, I have Kyle Trask as my 6th best quarterback. Kyle Trask is definitely a project. He's not bad, but I just think he's definitely a project. He doesn't have good footwork at all. He does a lot of like weird. I mean, the best thing about him that I saw in the film was that he'll stand in the pocket, take a hit, and deliver a strike.
I've seen him compared to guys like Matt Ryan, and I've also seen him compared to guys like Nick Foles.
I have his comp as Alex Smith.
It's not awful.
It's not awful, but I don't have a first round grade on him. He's not going to go in the first round. Could he go in a second round to a team that wants to wait, like a team like the Steelers? You know, yeah, of course. So that's my quarterback breakdown. Nice.
All right, so we'll switch it over. Pass the baton over to yours truly.
There you go.
And let's go to the backfield because I think I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this right now.
You might.
I'm gonna break it down a little bit. Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'll do 6 too. My top 6.
Okay.
Right, but I'm gonna go 6-1.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna switch it up. All right. So that's a base hit for the Blue Jays, and they're gonna look to take the lead here. Is he gonna score? Yes, he is. Garrett Cole.
One earned run.
So. Number 6, I have Jamar Jefferson out of Oregon State, running back. Number 5, I have Kenneth Gainwell, running back out of Memphis. Number 4, I have Michael Carter, running back out of North Carolina. Then I have at number 3, Travis Etienne out of Clemson.
Whoa.
Number 2, I have Javonte Williams out of North Carolina, who I like very, very much. And number 1, undisputed, is Najee Harris out of Alabama. Start from the top, break it back down, right? Najee Harris is, bar none, the best running back in this class. I watched film on him for about 25 minutes, and this dude is lining up in the slot. This dude is lining up in the backfield. He's lining up on the outside. He is catching balls in traffic. He is, laying out. He does everything, right? And this is what I keep telling people, okay? The way that he runs the ball hard. He runs downhill. He knocks people out with his shoulder pads. He is Derrick Henry, but he could catch the football.
Yeah, when you told me that, I was like, whoa.
I'm telling you, this dude is Derrick Henry, and he could catch the football. The biggest thing to me about running backs, and when it comes to drafting them, is can they be 3-down backs, right? Can they be running backs that could be on the field first down, second down, and third down, right? And there's 2 running backs in this class right now that could do that. Javonte Williams is one, and Najee Harris is the other one. Harris played at a more high-profile school. He played against defenses of guys who are going to be going into the NFL this year. I mean, the ACC has guys too, but not as prolific as the SEC, right? Harris is a guy, he's got speed, and he was the main focal point of that offense, I think, right? Mac Jones doesn't have Najee Harris. You're not putting him at fucking number 2 on your quarterback ranking. You're not. I don't care what you tell me. I'm sorry, I disagree with you wholeheartedly. Najee Harris here's a hot take. Here's a hot take. Najee Harris is the best was the best offensive player on that team last year. I don't care that Devontae Smith won the fucking Heisman Trophy. Najee Harris is a better offensive player than Devontae Smith. And that is, I am fully confident in saying that.
Joe just dropped a mega hot take.
He will be the best pro from that Alabama offense.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
So, and then number 2, I have Javonte Williams. People are going to say, oh, you don't have Travis Etienne number 3. No, I don't have Travis Etienne 3. You know why? Because Travis Etienne is not a 3-down back.
You don't have Travis Etienne 2, you mean?
Yeah, well, I have him at 3 because he's not a 3-down back. Did I give him? I said, yeah, so Derrick Henry. Javonte Williams, my comp for Javonte Williams is Nick Chubb.
Wow.
Yes. Javonte Williams ran in a 2 running back system in North Carolina with Michael Carter. Both were very, very good quarterbacks. Very, very good running backs. Williams is a pure downhill runner who will wear the defense down as the game goes on, much like Nick Chubb does. He's going to get better the more you give him the football. Good blocker. Smaller guy, but not like, he's not like, he's not Najee Harris in terms of size. But he's big on the arms. He's big in his fucking tree trunks down there and his legs. And he'll be able to do a lot. He's going to be able to. He's going to be a guy that runs between the tackles. He's going to be a guy that really kind of like I could see him being like Leonard Fournette.
Okay.
But I think he's a better runner of the football. He kind of waits for his spot to open up.
Yeah.
A lot like Le'Veon Bell does.
Okay.
Waits for his spot to open, and he's very patient. But when he hits you hard.
Patient with size.
Right, patient with size.
That's
right.
something.
So think about if Leonard Fournette waited for a hole to open when he ran the football. Honestly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and then let's get to number 3, right? And this is the one that everybody is gonna kill me on, right? So I have Etienne at number 3. And the reason I have Etienne at number 3 is simply because 2 reasons. One, he's not a 3-down back, in my opinion. And 2, he can't block. At this rate, he cannot block. If you watch tape of Travis Etienne blocking, you know what you're going to see? You're not going to see a guy who puts his hands out. And you're going to see a guy who goes after the linebacker or the edge rusher or whatever. What you're going to see a guy who lowers his head at the oncoming traffic to protect his quarterback. I'm telling you right now, that dude will have a major, major injury if he continues to block the way he's blocking. I don't know how. I'm sure he was taught the right way to block. In games, though, he's not doing it. He's not doing it. He isn't. People may think Etienne is a great catcher of the football. Had a lot of drops in college. And was not really primarily used. I think he had like 30 receptions this year. It was not a lot of receptions. He's a guy who could run the football well. He finds his holes. He's very good, excellent at angling himself to the end zone. Once he gets that breakaway speed, you're not going to catch him. He gets on the outside. Excuse me. He gets on the outside, and he's good. He's going to make people miss. And don't get me wrong. All those things I talked about just now, he could develop himself into. But I think he's a guy who's going to take some time. He would greatly benefit from being on a team who has an already established running back. Much like an Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams situation. Much like an Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram situation.
Makes sense.
I think at his best, he could be an Alvin Kamara. At his best.
Yeah, and that's been the comp, right?
That's been a very popular comp. He could be an Alvin Kamara at his best. But right now, I'd have to give him a comp of Leonard Fournette. That's the comp I would give him right now.
It's not bad. And you know what's funny? When you were doing this, not to interject on your rankings, but real quick, when I was watching film on Trevor Lawrence, I texted you and said, "Holy shit, ETN!" I thought he looked incredible.
Yeah, I think it's you got to look a little bit closer. I think ETN's good. He's not bad. It's not like I'm not killing him because he's a bad running back. He's not a bad running back at all. I just don't think he's on the level of Harris and Williams right now. Can he get there? Sure, but I don't think he's there yet. No. I think a team will take a chance on him in the first round, whether it's the Jets, whether it's Jacksonville. Now, let me preface this by saying, if the Jaguars, we're going to do our mock, right? If the Jaguars were to take ATM with the first pick of the day 2 and complement him with James Robinson, win. I would love the pick. I would praise the pick. It would be awesome to have him pair with Trevor again. Phenomenal. But for a team like the Jets, who doesn't have a running back and is looking for a guy to step in and be the guy, ATN's not your man. It's not. He is not your man at all. You want the Saints to take him and pair him with Alvin Kamara? Money in the bank.
That would be insanity.
Money in the bank. You want to take him and pair him with Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Money in the bank. Great picks. Great pick. I just don't see him as the guy right now. I just don't. He could develop into that guy. Strike 3.
Got him.
He could develop into that guy. Absolutely. I will see if that happens. I'm just not as crazy as I am on anybody else. And then rounding out my 4 through 6, I'll give you guys some player comps on the Twitter for them. Michael Carter, Kenneth Gainwell, who I really like, actually. I think Kenneth Gainwell could jump up in my rankings and surpass Carter as this goes on. And Jamar Jefferson out of Oregon State. That is our quarterback, running back breakdown. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Next week we are going to do. Let's hit up the defense a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's go. Defensive line.
Okay, that's you, right?
That's me.
Okay.
And you're a linebacker?
I think I'm safety.
You're safety?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go linebacker and safety.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Defensive line and safety.
Okay.
Love that. Let's do that. Or you know what? Nah, screw it. Wax that out. We're gonna go trenches.
Oh.
Oh no, you're not involved in trenches.
I'm not. You took all the trenches.
All right, no, let's go safety and defensive line. Let's stick with that.
I have wide receivers too.
Yeah. We'll do wide receivers and corners because I have corners, I think.
Yes.
We'll do wide receivers and corners the week after.
Week 3. Okay.
Right. And we'll because that'll be like head on with each other.
Oh, I'm excited for the receivers.
So, yeah.
I already started my work on the receivers.
So, all right, let's do that. When we come back, we're hitting up our 4th and final segment. We are going to reveal the PSP Mock Draft 1.0. We'll be right back. All right, folks, and we're back here for segment number 4 of our 6th episode, first episode in April. Happy April Fool's Day. Happy opening day. We are on Yankee Watch right now, watching ESPN. It's 1-0. The Toronto Blue Jays lead the New York Yankees. Garrett Cole just struck out Danny Jansen with runners on first and second and 2 away on a 3-2 count. Beautifully painted on the outside corner.
40 pitches through 2, though.
That's not what you want. I didn't know that. That's not what you want.
That's what I saw.
That's got 5 innings written all over it.
So he's got to break out the pine tar.
Let's hit up our mock draft. Me and John did this together. And the way we're gonna, how do you want to do this, John? You want to go? Let's go. You want to just do 1 to 32? We'll just go down the list.
Yeah.
And then we'll say which guys we liked, which guys we didn't like, which guys we think reached, not like that, right?
You have it on your phone because I don't want to.
I'm looking out of your computer as we speak.
Oh, you are. Oh, okay.
Can you zoom on that a little better? Can you zoom and make that a little bigger? Is that possible?
I don't think so.
No. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, what'd you do?
No, I got it back. I got it back. Okay.
All right, I think I can see.
All right.
So,
sorry if my mic sounds a little weird. I'm going to be turned a little bit here.
So John took the honor of doing the offensive players, and I did the honor of doing the offensive players, the odd-numbered teams, and I did the honor of doing the even-numbered teams.
Yep.
Right? So when you see your pick, so number one, and I think I'll say the ones that we agreed on, ones we didn't agree on. How about that? That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, so we'll go through it. This will be a semi-quick segment.
Obviously, number one pick, Jacksonville Jaguars. We both agreed. Trevor Lawrence is the
Obviously.
pick. Nothing there. Number two, it was my pick, so I chose Zach Wilson for the Jets. John slightly disagreed and thought that the Jets would be taking Penei Sewell.
Yes, and I still do. I don't see them taking a quarterback. I think it's going to be Penei Sewell. And I'll also say this, Joe. I don't know if you saw this before we actually started recording.
Sure.
The Jets put out their season ticket page.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold's all over it.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm not saying that means anything, but yeah, I don't know. I like Sewell here, but we have Zach Wilson. That's
okay.
it.
Well, number three, your boy, the Niners, trading up to take Mr. Mackey Mack.
Yeah.
Which I totally disagree with, but that's fine.
Yeah, I think that there's too much smoke here with Mac Jones.
Fully believe it's going to be a quarterback, though.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's going to be a quarterback.
Oh, yeah. And if the Jets pass on Wilson, I mean...
pass on Wilson, it's going to be Wilson here.
I could see Wilson here.
So, all right. Number four, we got the Atlanta Falcons taking Kyle Pitts at number four. Kyle Pitts recently said that he's had not one, but two meetings with the Atlanta Falcons at number four. Their coaching staff was there at the Florida Pro Day. And... this would be a nice little. I think they could also see Justin Fields going here.
Yeah, I was thinking Justin Fields in this spot.
But I definitely think that this is an opportunity for the Falcons to really select. Can you imagine Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, and Julio Jones?
It's disgusting.
Woo!
And they still win 4 games.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, Matt Ryan's making $48 million next year. So you're kind of stuck with him.
I think the next couple we agreed on, the Bengals, we agreed on Penei Sewell at number 5 here. Miami, we both agreed, I think, without any hesitation.
Unequivocally.
Jamar Chase at number 6.
Yep.
Number 7 was a little surprising. John took Devontae Smith to the Detroit Lions here. John, you want to just explain that really quick?
Well, the Lions aren't in the market for a quarterback. Obviously, I think they're going to see what they have in Goff. Wow, I hate watching Stanton.
That's Torres up at the plate now.
Oh, it's Torres. It looks like Stan. When it came to the Lions, this is a team I could definitely see a trade scenario.
Okay.
A team trying to jump in front of Carolina
For
a quarterback.
Right.
Could it be New England? That's a team that I would consider. But we took Devontae Smith. I think that there are 0 weapons on that team for.
Right, they lost their 2 top receivers this year.
Yeah, 2
Marvin
top
Jones
receivers
and Kenny Golladay.
You still have Hawkinson. You don't know what you have in DeAndre Swift at the running back position. Didn't they sign a running back too? Yes, they signed Jamal Williams.
Yeah, so they got a nice little 1-2 punch.
Yeah,
there.
so they got a little 1-2 punch. We're talking about 1-2 punch with running backs. There you go. There's another one.
Right.
So I could definitely see them taking Devontae Smith just to get another weapon on offense for Jared Goff. Coming from a team where he had a ton of weapons.
Number 8, I think we both agreed here that the Carolina Panthers at this stage would take Justin Fields.
Yep.
Their quarterback of the future. Number 9, interesting pick. I think this is a really great pick for the Broncos. They take Micah Parsons at number 9. John's number 2 on the overall, his big board. They would then have Bradley Chubb, Von Miller, and Micah Parsons. Parsons would pretty much be a replacement for Von Miller when the time comes.
Yeah.
At number 10, we have the Dallas Cowboys taking J.C. Horn, the first cornerback off the board. Interestingly enough, this goes against everything that me and John just said because we both have Surtain as our top corner. But I think Horn's pro day really elevated his stock a little bit.
Incredible pro day.
And I think it's going to help him maybe get into the top 10. Number 11, we have the Giants taking, I can't see who that is.
Rashawn Slater.
Rashawn Slater. Yeah, Rashawn Slater. Yes.
Rashawn Slater.
Really good tackle. Could play anywhere on the line. Not so sure he would play the tackle position for the Giants. I think he might play the guard position since they got Solder and Thomas they took last year. But they would be taking now 2 tackles in a row in back-to-back drafts with Thomas last year at number 4 and then Slater now at number 11.
I could see them kicking Solder inside, honestly.
I can see that too. Absolutely. I definitely could see that. Number 12, we got the Philadelphia Eagles, and we have them both taking a wide receiver, Jalen Waddle. Number 13, we have the Chargers taking Christian Darrisaw.
Excellent pick.
Really good pick. I think there's a couple of things that we know what's going to happen. We know the Dolphins are going to take Jamar Chase at number 6, and we know the LA Chargers are going to take a tackle at number 13.
Yeah, that's a lock.
Those are the things that we know. John, that's a little flare into left field. Is that going to fall? Yes,
oh, yeah, nice hit.
And at number 14, we got the Minnesota Vikings, John, taking a guy that we both enjoy like very much, Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah.
Oh, I love this pick.
I think that guy's going to be electric. You know who I see him being, honestly? I could see him being the next Luke Kuechly.
Oh, come on, man. Don't get me excited on the podcast.
I really can. I think he's going to be that good. I do.
He unbelievable player. I mean, he could actually be... There's an argument that he's the best linebacker in the class, but I think Parsons is just a smidge better.
Yeah, I think Karamoah is going to be really good. Mm-hmm. I do. Number 15, interesting pick here. John made this pick. He has the New England Patriots not taking a quarterback, not taking Trey Lance. He's got them taking Kadarius Toney, the wide receiver out of Florida, giving what was already an insane offseason for the Patriots offense, giving them Kadarius Toney. That would give them Toney. That would give them Aguilar. That would give them Bourne, Jonnu Smith, and Hunter Henry. My God, John, explain that one.
This guy, I think Bill Belichick really, really wanted Curtis Samuel. So the next best thing is to draft a rookie with a similar skill set, maybe even better than Samuel.
Right.
Get him on a cheaper contract. Just add another weapon. But again, when it came to the Patriots, because we didn't do any trades in this first mock,
we did not.
Do that. I could see them actually moving up to get a quarterback. But if they stayed in this spot, definitely think Kadarius Toney's a nice look at 15.
Okay, so Toney goes at 15 in our spot. 16, we have the Arizona Cardinals taking Patrick Surtain, a nice value pick at 16. We have the Raiders following their trend of reaching a little bit and taking Dylan Radins, the offensive tackle from North Dakota State. How many guys are going to have the first North Dakota State player being Dylan Radins and not Trey Lance?
Well, we got to find the odds on that.
Yeah, I know we do have to find the odds on that. But that pick makes sense because the Raiders traded away pretty much all of their offensive linemen, so it would make sense for them to get another lineman there. At 18, we have the Dolphins taking Jaylene Phillips, which to me is an incredible pick. To get in the first round, Jamar Chase and Jaylene Phillips. My boy, that's number 2 and number 9, so God bless.
Yeah.
19, here he is, John, your boy, Washington taking Trey Lance. And that was your pick.
Yeah, that was. I think Washington's going to have a little bit of FOMO here, and they're just going to take the best available quarterback.
Okay. Number 20, we got Elijah Vera Tucker, the inside, the guard going to the Chicago Bears. At 21, we have Liam Eichenberg going to the Colts, shoring up that offensive line.
Yeah, that's a need. They got to fill. I think they missed big.
They got to fill the Costanzo need. You think?
Yeah, I think they missed big on what's his name?
Trent Williams.
Trent Williams. I think Trent Williams was destined for them.
Yeah. 22 through 25, we got the Titans taking Azeez Ojulari, a much-needed edge help from Georgia. We have the Jets taking Najee Harris in what would be a phenomenal first round for the Jets, getting their quarterback of the future and their running back of the future in the first round. We have the Steelers taking Caleb Farley, and his drop falls all the way to number 24. In his first projected mock, I believe we saw him at 9 or 10.
Yeah, we had him up there.
At 25, we have the Jaguars taking Christian Barmore, the defensive tackle out of Alabama. And I will tell you this, John, I have the Jaguars taking Barmore here because Gary Sanchez.
Whoa!
Is that gone? Yes,
it is. Wow.
Is. Gary Sanchez, I'm going to text my friends after and tell them that I I projected Gary Sanchez to hit a home run today.
He couldn't hit for shit last year, so that's nice to see.
I said it was going to happen. I said it. I'm just going to say I'm a prophet. If Tyson Alualu didn't renege on his contract to the Jaguars and go back to Pittsburgh, I would have taken Zaven Collins with this pick.
Yeah.
But because they have now a little bit of a need there, I'm taking Barmore. 26, we got Kwity Paye falling all the way to 26.
My
really
seventh ranked player.
Really good pick for the Browns. We have the Ravens taking Trevon Moehrig at number 27 to help shore up that defense. You may ask, why didn't they take a wide receiver with this pick? I think they're going to take one in round 2, but the need is not there at the moment. The Saints taking Greg Newsome at number 28. We don't know what the deal is with Marshawn Lattimore now with the arrest, so we'll see what happens there. 29, we have the Packers taking Terrence Marshall, wide receiver out of LSU. Really had a nice pro day alongside of Jamar
really
Chase. I think this might go into his stock a little bit. The Bills taking Gregory Rousseau out of Miami at number 30. We have the Chiefs taking Zaven Collins at 31. And then John, with the last pick of the first round, had Travis Etienne going to the Bucs in what would be a loaded running back room with him, Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette, Keyshawn Vaughn. So,
Brady could just play till he's 68 years old.
Yeah,
at that point.
I mean, he could be playing with a walker. But that is our first round mock. Let us know what you think on the Twitter. Hit us up at PSP Pod. Let us know what you think. We're going to post our first round mock as well. John, any last thoughts about the mock draft here?
Not too many. There's a couple of teams I could see. You know what? I want to do something that we didn't discuss that we were going to do on here. I want to do something funny real quick. Hang on. I gotta move myself over.
Uh-oh. He's moving himself over. Where are we going? Oh, we're doing... Wow.
I'm going to take us back to January 6th.
Oh, shit.
So just a little background. Last year, me and Joe just started doing... and if this is kind of where the idea for this podcast kind of started. We would call each other up and we would do mock drafts leading up to draft season. We do how many did we do last year? I think we did 3.
And then we did like a full 7.
We did a 7-round mock draft, which was ridiculous because after round 3, my brain was fried. So we actually, before we agreed to start doing this podcast, we actually did a mock on January 6th. Our first mock. Joe was itching. He's like, let's just mock right now. Like, all right, let's do it. So I'm going to go through our top 10 of the mock that we had. Okay. Or you know what, Joe? You could see it. I don't want to turn. So just go through the top.
Okay. So
let's go through the top 10. Let's see how much it changed.
We have Trevor Lawrence at 1. We have Penei Sewell at 2. We have the Niners at 3. Look at that.
We did that trade.
At taking Zach Wilson. At 4, we have Micah Parsons. At 5, we have Jamar Chase. Oofa. At 6, we have Patrick Surtain. 7, Justin Fields. This is before the Jared Goff trade.
Yeah, this was way before.
8, we have... Is that Kwity Paye?
No,
8?
That's Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts at 8. 9 is Kwity Paye. And 10 is who?
Roshan Slater.
Wow. Damn. I mean, listen, I could definitely...
Not that far off.
That top 5, I could definitely see going that way.
Even like
today.
In a month? Yeah, of course.
I could definitely see that top 5 going that way. Mm-hmm. Easily. I think Surtain at 6, I don't know if that's going to happen. Obviously not going to happen anymore with the Dolphins there. I don't feel the Lions. I'd be shocked to take a quarterback. I don't think Pitts falls to 8. If he did, I could see that happening maybe. Paye at 9 could definitely happen, I think. Mm-hmm. And Slater at 10 could happen. So all these things could happen.
Yeah.
The only thing that's guaranteed not to happen, I think, is Surtain at 6. That's the only thing I think that's definitely not going to happen. Wow, that was fun.
And then real quick, we did another mock on the 20th of January.
Oh, God.
And this one is very different. Go through the top 10 quick.
Lawrence, Fields at 2 to the Jets. Dolphins at 3. Who's that?
Devontae Smith.
Oh, my God. Nope. 4 is...
Micah Parsons.
Again. 5 is Sewell. 6 is...
Jamar Chase
to the Eagles, so that pick might be the same. 7, who's that?
Zach Wilson.
Oof.
But that was, again, before the golf trade.
8 is
Trey Lance.
Oh God, maybe. 9 is who?
Patrick Surtain.
All right, and 10 is
Caleb Farley. Like you said, we had him in the top 10.
We did have in top 10. Wow, look at that difference.
That's
Jeez.
crazy, right?
That is crazy. Look at what knowledge does.
Yeah, right?
Knowledge.
That first one wasn't too bad, though.
First one wasn't awful. It really wasn't.
But
Wow.
this was fun.
Today was fun. I had a blast today. Today was good. Listen, Fiz, we are going to have 3 more pods this month surrounding this stuff. If you loved this pod like we did, make sure you push it out. Make sure that you listen to it.
Tell your friends.
Comment. Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors. Tell your enemies. I don't care. Tell anybody. We are looking to expand. We had a great first month, and we're looking for bigger and better things. Listen, follow and like us on Facebook, on Twitter. Make sure you follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google, wherever you get your podcasts.
TikTok at Perfect Spiral Pod.
Yes, the TikTok.
You can see my wonderful beard.
Episode number 6 in the books. John,
a great
first
time.
afternoon pod. We did it.
Yeah, it was nice. We
was
had the
nice.
Yankee game on. I'm feeling
Feeling good.
spring vibes.
Yes, feeling good, baby. Spring is here and in the air. Make sure you really hit us up and let us know all your thoughts. Love to have it. Today was fun. Everybody enjoy their week. Happy Easter to those celebrating Easter.
Happy Easter.
And all right, guys, we'll see you soon.
Have a good
Peace.
one, everyone.